All right. Little video in the dark here. Bear with me. Up here laying back in the truck. But I'm going to say this. The one chick that I put up in the video, I actually just did that just to be goofy. I ain't gonna lie. I did that shit to be goofy, but the chick, the blonde chick, I actually know her. And this chick, basically, she primarily dates black men. She'll call, the funny thing is, the weird thing about her is, I thought that she was all the way white. I literally thought she was all the way white. But she showed me some pictures of her great grandmother, who was actually a biracial woman, which took me back because the woman had what a reddish like you hair, but her great grandmother was a biracial woman that got with a white man, and then from that point on, they had children that were white, and she a descendant of one of those. She a descendant of one of the grandchildren. So the thing is, with her family is, they pretty much, she come from a mixed family, a mixture of black and white due to that situation. So she primarily date black men. Now, we had a lot of deep discussion. She ain't just no ditzy ass blonde. She may come off like that, but she's not. But she's not a ditzy ass blonde. But talking about that ain't really what I wanted to get into the meat and the crust of. You did. And for the most part, let me make this clear. I don't have no problem with interracial dating. Whether it be a black man with a white woman or a black woman with a white man. But to me, if it was about interracial dating, dating interracially shouldn't even be a problem. It should be whether you actually truly love somebody. If that man or that woman connects with you on the emotional level, not that transcends race. It's supposed to love, like I said, it's supposed to transcend race, as they say it. But we all know that it's an agenda also being pushed. You did. Now, for starters, we always heard these white nationalists always talking about white replacement, right? White people being replaced. But I asked the question, if y'all so concerned about white replacement, why do you have some of these white supremacist men laid up with black women? Yes, you have white nationalists, white men laying up with black women. It's beyond, kind of when you think about it, it's kind of fucked up, like twisted. But then again, once I start noticing the agenda, and then the agenda of the media, what they try to push with TV and all that, then I got it. Eureka. See, and Exotico United, thanks for her saying this, because she said something, Exotico United said something that I was thinking about ever since she said it. She was talking about black women laying up with white men and laying up with white men, and all they doing is creating exoticos. So all they doing is creating exoticos. And it's a black man, we already know when we lay with white women, we already know, you're going to create a byproduct that's going to look like Alicia Keys, Zendaya, Rick Fox, Drake, shit like that. We already know how offspring going to come out. Black women they do the shit intentionally just to have biracial kids. Just to have preferably girls. Preferably girls. They don't want boys. A lot of times the black women, when they get a biracial boy, in real talk, they be like, I didn't want a boy, but I'll take him. Because a lot of biracial men see themselves no different than black men, especially if they're what you call a non-passing biracial dude. They thrown in the same lump with niggas. That's why biracial and light-skinned dudes, we don't really have a beef. It's not no real beef between light-skinned, dark-skinned, biracial niggas. Yeah, we joke with each other and shit. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you on light bulb light, nigga. You know, we joke with each other. That's just joking. But, you know, just like a dark-skinned brother, like, damn, nigga, we can't see you. You know, it's just out of fun. We joke with each other. We bust each other chops. But other than that, we get along. The funny thing is with black women, though, they'll create biracial offspring, preferably women. But when black women got to compete with those biracial women for what? No matter if it's a black man or a white man, they got to compete with that biracial woman. And a lot of times, let's be honest, I'm going to just be honest, most of the time black men and white men are more attracted to the biracial looking woman than the black woman. Due to niggas' colorism, I don't discriminate with women in general. If you beautiful, you beautiful. I don't have no discrimination. Now, I ain't never dated a white chick. I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't never dated a white chick, but I ain't gonna say I'm not gonna do it in the future. I'm just gonna keep it real. So I mean, let's be honest. If you look at all these shows and shit that's on TV, and then the one show they talked about where I forgot Paradise Island or whatever the fuck, one of those. I'll look at this shit. But they've been talking about this black girl along with the Kelsey, with Travis Kelce shit going on with him and that, you know, Barry Taylor Swift. So everybody now finding out that a lot of these divestors are catching L's left and right, only to find out that the relationship between that little kid and little young girl who I'm old enough to be their pops, their dad. You know, I'm old enough to be both of these two kids' dads, because to me, I see them as kids. Even though the girl, I ain't gonna lie, her body all grown up. But mentally, like emotionally, to me, they kids. I can't help it. I'm fucking 50 years old. I see that girl and that young dude being like my son or some shit. You know, I see him as my son or daughter. I see her as my daughter, like calling me up, say, "Hey, Daddy, can you give me some money?" Yeah, I'll send it to your cash app. That's how I see that shit. You know, I see that little young girl as my daughter, and I already knew it was some stunting going on in the game. I already knew it was something going on, some stunting in the game. I already knew that relationship where they showed the little black girl with the white dude, I already knew that was staged like a motherfucker. And the little dude, her little friend, pointed out, said, "Man, that shit, that's fake." He basically said that's fake. They did that because he wanted to stay on the show. So to make it interesting, they threw him with the dark-skinned black girl, the little dark-skinned black girl, and they been and what happened? The ratings of that show went up. But not from white men white men don't even look at that shit. Most of the people that look at that shit and give it the most support, not even white women, are black women. Yes, black women look at that because now they living vicariously through that little black girl that was in the relationship with the fake relationship with the white dude, which now everybody knows is fake. Everybody know that relationship set up fake. So now, you know, you got that. Then you got that on the eve of Travis Kelce, you know, marrying fucking Taylor Swift, that's like two L's at one time, because one was a fake relationship that was created by TV, and the other one was a relationship where a white man rejects a beautiful black woman to get with a white woman, which is Taylor Swift. And then just you look at the backdrop of Travis Kelce relationship with the black chick. I don't know her name. I just knew Travis Kelce because I look at football. So I didn't know. All I knew he was dating some black chick. That's all I knew. So I didn't even care about Travis Kelce dating the black chick because I like Travis Kelce, an athlete. Now all these black women want to run around and say he racist. He dated 3 black women, including her was the last one that's 4. So maybe he just they talking about he got with Taylor Swift because of cosmetics and shit, optics and cosmetics, because it looked better for him to be with a white woman than a black woman. I said possibly so, possible. I ain't gonna turn that down. Yes. You're an athlete, and you with the championship Super Bowl champs Kansas City Chiefs, and you go off and marry Taylor Swift. That's like motherfucker 2 trains connected. Clink clink. You know. That's like 2 trains connected and going down the motherfucking rail with the rail cars. So, this a white man. Let me say that clear. This is a white man. It getting with a white woman. And now he's racist because he chose his own group of women. But see, think about it. If Tyrone got with a white woman, he'll be an Uncle Tom and a sellout. So now that Brad walked away from Keisha and got with a white woman, and then not only that, you got all these black men up here with all these white women at the NFL draft. They got all Becky's and Susans and shit on their lap while they take the picture. Travis Kelce left out with a white woman. How that make black women look? Think about it, how that make black women look. That make black women look like jump-offs. And that's what we been trying to tell black women for the years. Y'all are looking bad out here. It's just so bad that y'all even got whole groups pursuing white men. White men don't got no groups pursuing y'all. Black men don't got no groups pursuing white women. Well, yes, you do have white men and Asian hookups. You do have that. You do have the interracial date, but that shit didn't come up. But we didn't come up with that shit. Black men didn't create. We don't be creating no goddamn dating apps. Those dating apps are created by women. When you find out who creating these dating apps, women are creating them dating apps, not men. Men are not creating them dating apps. Men got better shit to do than create some goddamn dating apps. Women are creators of all those dating apps you see, including the interracial ones. And when you find out all those apps are all related to one another, owned by the same creators, then it'll blow your mind. You got one hooking up white women with black men. Another one, you got black women and white men hooking up. 9 times out of 10, the black men, I'm just gonna keep it real, black men more likely to get married with a white woman than a black woman is less likely to get married to a white man. And the reasons why is starkly different. It's the reason why black women, they want to live in this lane, this lane of Delulu, of thinking that, our relationships with white men last longer. There's not even no evidence for that. It's evidence of white men are not marrying y'all though. There's a lot of that, but there's no factual evidence saying that y'all marriages last with white men that long because white men are not marrying y'all in those kind of levels. And even though you see black men with white women, to be honest and truthful, ain't that many black men with white women. All this is just propaganda. They create this shit. 90%, 88% of black men and women marry one another. That's the truth. So you got more black men and black women getting married than black men and white women, or white men and black women. It's not that big of it's not that small, large of a bucket. And see, when I tell people, you see the diversity, there's a small amount of women too that's going after bread, because majority of black women. I know a lot of brothers find this hard to believe. Majority of black women are not attracted to white men like that. You know, yes, you'll have some secret romances at the office with Brad and Keisha and black women. You'll have a few black women that won't desire a white man, but the vast majority of black women don't mess with white men. But it's been a propaganda. They've been pushing this propaganda because they want to try to basically, black population is not that large in the United States, and you overwhelmingly got a white population. So what they try to promote is breeding us out, like they've been trying to do in Latin America for years, with the La Raza shit, better the race. Now they taking that to heart up here in the United States, saying, well, let's just breed them out like Longshanks and Braveheart. He said, if you can't defeat the Scottish, we'll breed them out. And he put in Adoptus Platakis. So basically, what you said is white men who talk about white replacement, their idea is keeping white women from black men, but laying up with black women and having them have biracial children, raise them in the white community, and those biracial children marry white men. You see what I'm saying? That's the goal. That's the end game that they playing, but it ain't working out like that. And the reason why it's not working out like that, I'm gonna tell you why. The colorism with niggas. Especially niggas that's athletes and rappers and shit, they always talking about having yellow bones in their shit. So what's gonna happen? Those light-skinned chicks gonna run over there to Tyrone and Lamont because they get put on a pedestal. The light-skinned biracial girls get put on a pedestal in the black community. I told Zydeco United that. I said, black women, that's their fault for real. Y'all black women fall for that. Y'all the reason why Bianca, which I call for biracial women Bianca, y'all the reason why Bianca is on a pedestal in the community. Y'all the reason why Bianca, light-skinned, ambiguous, curly hair, C4, C3 hair, curly hair, man, light-skinned, looking like Zoe Saldana and shit. That's why you see her on the pedestal in the black community as the choice of black men. And you may have a whole bunch of dark-skinned chocolate women that equal her in beauty, but due to the fact that y'all black women talking about, I want to have biracial daughters and no black daughters, well then y'all just said basically y'all don't want to see yourselves exist. That's why I said you can't talk about, and that's why even Rashida Stroger said that, came out with that, and a lot of the divestors got mad at Rashida Stroger, and then you had her and Chrissy going back and forth. You had Rashida Stroger and Chrissy going back and forth with each other. You had both of them going back and forward because Rashida Stroger said, how you gonna talk about your black skin, dark skin beauty, and you up here you up here with a motherfucking white man. It don't make sense. You ain't how you gonna promote dark-skinned black women beauty and you laying up here with a white man having biracial kids? You creating the whole problem. For the reasons why it's colorism. It's a hypocrisy. Shit, at least Paris Milan married to a African dude. At least she got with a black dude. Only thing was, Exotic Coach United called her ass out for bleaching. Boy, like my Kevin Samuels voice, you can't make this shit up. Rest in power, Kevin Samuels. Rest in power, KS. Man, you can't make this shit up. So, like I said, man, black women, y'all kind of shoot yourselves in the foot. Like Sergeant Willie C.P. said, y'all blowing y'all goddamn foot off with a goddamn howitzer. Y'all black women blowing y'allself up using tomahawk missiles and shit, guided missiles and shit, blowing y'all legs off at the knee. Y'all up there looking like Anakin on Star Wars and shit after Obi-Wan cut his limbs off. Y'all are black women up there looking like Anakin and shit. I hate you! Y'all up there looking, matter of fact, I might use that for the thumbnail. Anakin, instead of using the thumbnail I was gonna use, I might use Anakin up there with his arms and legs and shit cut off. For the thumbnail of this video, cause now, god damn it.